Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn how to create an EKS cluster using Terraform and GitHub Actions. And in this particular video, we will explore the second option, which is using Manage Node Group. In my previous video, I have explained how to create an EKS cluster using Auto Mode, and now we will explore how to do it using Manage Node Group. So if you have to create an EKS cluster using managed node group, what are the requirements? So the VPC requirement is same. You have to create a VPC with public and private subnets and ensure that it has tagged EKS cluster using managed node group that we need. For the access, we will be following the same practice like IAM roles and groups and creating an access entries. And the other stuff that is different is ALB controller. So in EKS auto mode, we don't have to install any ALB controller, but EKS managed node group, we have to install that ALB controller. And for that, we have to create the OIDC providers and have all the trust policy. So we will see how we can do everything using IAC. If you wanted to go through the manual steps, I have created the video on that you can follow. That will have all the manual steps how to create the EKS cluster using managed node group. So for the VPC, it is a simple configuration. I'm using the Terraform module, providing all the subnets details and all the attributes. And the most important part is net gateway. So I am ensuring that it just create one net gateway instead of more because because the net gateway pricing is too much and we are just creating it for the demo purpose, so just one net gateway is sufficient. And here we are providing the tags. So this is a very simple resource for creating a VPC. The next part is you are creating an EKS cluster. So here you can see that I am creating this module, using this module, providing the version, the cluster version, and now the add-ons things comes into the picture. Because EKS managed node group, you have to add or install all the add-ons also. So here you can see that I have added cluster add-ons EKS pod identity, kube proxy, VPS CNI, and upgrade policy, simple stand, bootstrap self-manage add-ons true, and all the other things, cluster endpoint public access is true, and then enable IRSA. So because we need that OpenID Connect provider, so we are enabling that enable IRSA also. And other than that, only VPC subnet IDs. So here you can see I will be creating the EKS cluster, and using this module, it will install these three add-ons also. You might be wondering why I have not used the core DNS, because core DNS is also an essential plugin, essential add-on. So the reason is core DNS need the nodes to be created first. And if you don't have nodes and you put the core DNS here, your Terraform will just fail after 10 to 15 minutes because you have not even created the node yet. So where that core DNS pods will run. So because of that reason, this is the standard that you should start with this, and then we will see how to create the other stuff. So this is, it will create the EKS cluster. Now the next part is the node. So we have created the cluster. Now we need to create the node. So here you can see that I have added this EKS add-on, and here I have put the depend on. So this particular add-on will get created after this. This is very important. And now in this module section, I am using this particular module, providing all the cluster details. So here you can see I'm providing this cluster name, subnet IDs, minimum size. You can provide the instance types based on the requirement. I'm using the spot, the labels. So all the customization of the nodes, you can do it here. And if you want more customization options, if you go to this particular website URL, you can see what all options are available to do more customization. But this is how that managed node group looks like. And this is the EKS add-on. So now you have the EKS cluster, you have the managed node group. The next part is access management. You want to make sure how you are providing the access. So the access remains same. It is the same process as we explore in the EKS auto mode. There is no difference into that. I am creating the IAM group, creating the role, and creating the policy, and ensuring that who all users can assume that role, they have permission, the admin permissions that I have assigned it here, like EKS cluster admin policy for that particular role. So the access management is the same, there is no change there. So now you might be remembering, when you create the EKS cluster using manage node group, you always have to install the AWS ALB controller also. So I want to make sure that we include that also into the Terraform, so that once this cluster is created using this process, it is all in working state. You can just go ahead and deploy your workloads, right? So for that, you will have to, so here also they have a different instructions how to install the ALB controller. I am using the Helm, and in my previous video where I was explaining everything and doing manually, I have explained everything using Helm only. So for that, again, you need a Helm provider and you need to authenticate with your cluster. So here I am providing this Kubernetes cluster CA certificate and the token. This is very important. This is like a Helm providers. And now you want to install that AWS load balancer controller, right? So you are installing that AWS load balancer controller, you are providing the chart, repo, and all those things that you were setting there, you can set it in this way. So you have to cluster name, you are setting the region, the service account. So you wanted to add the service account because that is also the requirement, and then service account name. And at the end, if you can recall, we have to do the annotation also. So this is what we are doing it, so that this service account is annotated with this IAM role, so that it will have access. And this particular IAM role that I was talking about, that we have to create those OIDC providers and the permissions. So this is where I created this ingress controller IAM role, and this is the assume role policy. So here if you open this IAM policy, this is all from the AWS documentation, so I have provided it here. So what all permissions that particular role needs, so I have put it there. And then if you go to IAM roles, you are just attaching that policy. And then this is the trust policy. So here you can see assume role with web identity, federated, you have a account ID, OIDC providers, and module.eks OIDC provider. So when you are creating the EKS cluster using that module, it is creating those OIDC provider, so that you can just use it and assign it here. So this is all you need it in the Terraform. I have explained it when we are doing it manually also, but from the code perspective, this is how it looks like. And here you can see we are using all variables and providing the references, and there is no hard coding. Now we will explore the concept of storage in EKS cluster. All your applications, or most of the applications, need persistent storage. So for your application, sometimes you need EBS volumes, you need EFS storage, some kind of storage you need for your application. So in this example, we will be exploring the EBS part. So what it will do, it will just have that EBS volume configuration present in your EKS cluster, so that whichever applications you have is need EBS volume, they can request that. So that configuration we are going to create in this EKS cluster. So if I go to this ebs.tf, so now to create or to support your EKS cluster so that it can support the EBS volume creation part, it provides it through the EKS add-on. So there is a add-on with name AWS EBS CSI driver for EBS volume. So you can first create EKS add-on of EBS, which depends on, like, once your node group is created, then you are creating this add-on. And here you can see that you are creating this AWS IAM role and the policies also. And this add-on is going to create a service account with the necessary IAM role, so that your Kubernetes pods actually can communicate with the AWS resources. So remember, we did the same configuration when we installed the AWS Helm, AWS load balancer controller using Helm. In that setup also, we created the service account. We have this OIDC provider configurations and IAM role policy attachment. So we did all this configuration, and this is the same setup. In this, instead of Helm, we are using the add-on because they are providing the add-on. So we are using this add-on and creating it and assigning the role to that add-on, so that whenever I request EBS volume storage using Kubernetes resources, it is available for use. So this is the configuration here that we have for storage. So this is how it looks like. I think we covered everything. Yes. So now the next part is you have to deploy it. So for that, I have created the GitHub workflows. If you are new and if you don't know about GitHub Actions, I have a video on GitHub Actions. You can go ahead and learn GitHub Actions, which is easy and super easy and convenient because everything is in just one repo. So here you can see that I have created this YAML file. This is very simple. I have just commented out, but it's like whenever there is a push and to this particular path, this workflow will get triggered. I have put the pull request also. The workflow dispatch means if I want to run it manually, and then we are providing the access key IDs. We need it so that we can authenticate with the AWS account and the working directory from against which this Terraform should run. After that, we are checking out the repositories, configuring those AWS credentials, setting up Terraform. Here you can provide your version also. I'm using the latest Terraform init, validate, plan, and at the end you are applying it. So this is how it looks like from the GitHub action perspective. And if I go there and click on this, I can just, this is the EKS auto mode. So just go there, EKS, and just run workflow. So this will take a little bit of time, but let me just show you how does it look like. Here you can see the Terraform plan and how many resources it's creating. It is creating a lot of resources, but in this example, particularly in this video, there is no dependency of the local machine. There is no dependency of AWS CLI, kubectl, and everything, because everything I am using, it's on the GitHub repo, using GitHub Actions for the deployment, creating the Terraform code. So this is good so that there is no dependency with your machine specific configuration, which is sometimes very hard to troubleshoot. So once this job will complete, I can show you how it's look like right now. So let me just go there if it has started. Yeah, so here you can see that it has started creating this EKS cluster. Once that job is finished, you should be able to see this cluster. You can access this cluster, and it's ready to do the deployment. You can just run your workloads.